Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. That is Stephen Howson, and this is a review. Manchester United beating Wolves 4-3. Steve, how do you look at this game, right? Because I've seen sort of a split in opinions. Some people going, Mainoo, who we'll get to in a minute. What a, fantastic sort of result in the way that we got, the last minute winner. Others are going, Ten Hag out, Onana's a disgrace. The manager don't know what he's doing. Subs are a joke. All that sort of negativity that we're sort of famous for at times. How do you look at that game?
Stay off the internet. Honestly, if your first reaction after United have just scored, an academy player as well has just scored a 97th minute winner, is to be like, that manager's a fucking helmet, or that keeper's a bag of shit, go and watch fucking cricket or something, or just hoover your fucking house. Because what are you doing? Honestly, if you can't actually lose your fucking melon and just be happy when you do that sort of stuff, honestly, just fuck off and leave it to the rest of us who enjoy this. Because do you know what? We didn't have any VAR bullshit. It was goal, happy days. It was how it was meant to be. If you can't enjoy the purity of that, genuinely, football isn't for everyone, and you're one of those people. Fucking move.
I have to agree with you, bro. Honestly, that goal at the end. Listen, I don't get people say, oh, you know what, United are 7th, whatever, it's only Wolves. That goal, seeing Mainoo, an academy graduate who's been mint since he burst into the team as well, score a goal like that and you've nailed it. No VAR, no, is it going to count, is it going to stand? Just picking up the ball, going past a couple of players, slotting it the way he did. It was absolutely joyous. Steve, you've been talking about Mainoo for a long time. Just, I'm running out of words to describe the kid. Can you help me out? What can we say about him? He's the real deal, isn't he?
I don't think you need to go too overboard. I think what we're seeing is a young lad playing with a maturity that he's not meant to have. The most impressive thing for me about Kobbie Mainoo is his decision making. Like, rarely do I go, like, all of our forwards. You watch them play, right?
Yeah.
And you go, fuck are you doing? At least 16 times a game. You go, fuck you done that for?
Yeah.
Whereas with Mainoo, you just go, nice, well done, nice. He's just got that. He's got people are going to take this the wrong way because it's the internet, but fuck it. Like, he's got that Roy Keane-ness about him where he just keeps it extremely simple.
Yeah.
But it's simple done to a really high level. People are going to go, are you saying he's as good as Roy Keane? That's what you heard. You and the fucking lot that need to go and start over in the fucking living room, sling it. But he's got the characteristic of, like, mature, keep it simple, and I like it. I like when people are able to do the simple. He doesn't overcomplicate it. He doesn't think, let me just beat this man. He don't do that. He just keeps it so simple. His decision-making is a joke. I've said this 4 or 5 times, but I'm serious. I'd love to know who taught him football. Was it his dad? Was it his uncle? Was it his PE teacher? Was it his coach at under-8s? I need to know, because that person needs to be, like, on a bigger stage somewhere, because the level of football intelligence this kid has got, it needs bottling, because it's too good. You're not supposed to have 10 years experience at 18, but he plays like he's got it. And that's the most impressive thing. It ain't that he can go and bend one into the bottom corner in the 97th minute and win us a game. Yeah, that's in his locker. But that's not why he's playing for United. That he's playing for United because he does his job to a very, very high degree. And it's meticulous and it's simple. But the simple things are hard to do. There's a lot of our players really struggle with them basics.
Before the game, obviously we talk about Kobbie Mainoo all night and I'd happily do that. Before the game, all the talk was of Marcus Rashford. Should he be in the starting 11? Then it was announced in starting 11. Is he going to turn up? Is he going to be, on it? Scored an early goal, which I felt he needed. That just silenced a little bit of the doubt, as I know it wasn't like all is forgiven because he just scored a goal. But it's what he needed. And I thought Marcus did all right tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought he played well and he got his goal. What did you make of his performance?
Just above average. I'm not going to be singing it from the rooftops. It's probably a better performance than he's had for almost all of this season. But yeah, like, I think he did need that. I think he did need an early goal as well, because even though sometimes you can have a good performance, I thought he was good against Arsenal, but you get nothing to show for it. No one cares. So, you come away, which he's done a lot this year, not good performances. He's just come away with nothing. Yeah, I think he did need that. I think the difference is the manager's put him in the team, and I think that's all you need to say about it. He's done wrong. He's been fined a couple of quid. I think it's fair to say. He got a game suspension, or whether you call it a suspension or whatever. He was unselected for a single game. He's been fined, and he's brought back into the team because he acknowledged that he'd done wrong. You know, I think what people are forgetting is why is he being treated to Jadon Sancho? Well, Jadon Sancho hasn't gone through those steps. He hasn't held his hand up and said, sorry, shouldn't have done that. And then, dealt with it and got on with it. And it probably is too late for Sancho, I imagine, at this point. But the gaffer's done this with seemingly quite a few players. Varane, one of them, potentially. There was some talk that him and Varane had fell out. Plays every week. So it's funny that we kicked off saying that we wanted discipline. Get us a manager that can discipline these lads. We got a manager that can discipline these lads, and everyone's like, "Whoa, not that much." Like, what do you want?
Yeah, this is yeah. Sorry, you're right, and people get annoyed if you compare anyone to Sir Alex Ferguson. But when Fergie came in, there were certain things he did and he had to do that people weren't feeling. And I know we were only young when it happened, but I remember people questioning Paul McGrath. You can't let Paul McGrath go, or Norman Whiteside. That's the way he is. You can't treat him any differently. And the manager was obviously a disciplinarian, and he knew that he had to shake things up. And Ten Hag's doing something similar, so I kind of get it. Just on Ten Hag, what did you make of his tactics tonight, his substitutions? Because some people question it, some people say, oh, you know what, I didn't get it, but ultimately United won. So what did you make of it? Because I know you mentioned earlier, if you can't enjoy a win, what are you doing? What did you make of the manager from a tactical point of view?
Well, yeah, I don't think his subs were great, in all honesty, and it felt like a little bit of not full testimonial pre-season friendly substitution level, but there was a little bit of that going on. It felt like, wasn't it? Like. Why's Howson getting a game here now at this time? But why are we taking Højlund off for 5 fucking minutes? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I know we've got a game on Sunday. But like, we are in must-win territory at the moment. Like, bollocks in this one up to focus on the one on Sunday is not really the move. You kind of just need a win tonight, no matter what. Even if that meant playing the same 11 to the 99th minute, like, that's maybe what you needed to do. Because I'll be real, I think if he goes 3 losses on the bounce again this season, I don't think he's the guy in charge anymore. Well, come the start of next season, I think he sees the season out almost no matter what. There'll be circumstances where he does end up, in a job centre line somewhere. If he just started losing every game for 10 weeks, yeah, he'd be gone. But I think no matter what happens, he sees the end of this season out. And if he wants to see the start of the next one, he's going to need to finish. It's going to have to be 5th and close to 4th. And that might still not be enough. I think he needs a minimum of 4th. And even that might be not enough. The circumstances of how this ends, like, there's not really necessary, unless you win the league, which, let's be honest, from fucking basically 10th about 20 minutes ago to win the league, it's not going to happen, is it? So I don't think there's any chance. All right, if we won every game from now to the end of the season, yeah, I think he's almost fucking cert to be here next year. But I think it's a massive, massive, massive grey area about whether or not he's the gaffer next year. And I think what he needs to focus on right now is just winning as many games as possible and pleasing his new paymaster.
I agree. I think you're right, and I think we'll have to wait and see what happens at the end of the season. But I think he's still got the opportunity there to keep his job. Maybe if you say, like you say, we can get into that top 4.
Yeah, I don't think it's like 70% he's getting a bullet, but yeah. I don't think it's 100% that he's not either. So, like, you can argue about the semantics of what percentage he is likely to be here or likely to go next year, but the fact is it's not 100 and it's not 0. So there is a discussion to be had, and I think if he's going to be here next year, you can't be dropping points. Even though, like, Wolves is a tough place to go to. West Ham at home, you would assume you should be getting 3 points there, but we haven't had it easy at all this year. And late in games, we've fucked it up a couple of times recently as well. So, like, I don't want to be giving out testimonial appearances. Get the game won. And to be fair, like, we haven't touched on this really at all, but in the first half, we could have had the game dealt with, comfortable. And we could have then you can start like 4-5-0 up. Yeah, Howson, have a go. Maguire. Anyone who wants to fucking run out, you can have a run out because the game is dealt with. As soon as that bullshit penalty happens, you think, okay, we still got a bit of a cushion here. Then the second goes in, and you're like, shit. And then the piss taking defending. Why have we got so many up for a corner? That's on the players. That the manager as well, but like that's on the players by saying. Why has no one lifted someone as they're crossing the halfway line? Basics. Yeah. Basics. Let's run this fucking clock out. Did we have the clock up by then, or was it still before then?
I don't know. I think it was sort of just on the edge, but it's getting towards the end of the game. You know what's happening. It's one of them, innit? Like you say, it's basic. It's basic. Come on, man.
Pull his shirt. You don't want to boot him. You don't want to injure him. Pull his shirt. You'll get a yellow, maybe, not even a certainty. But you've stopped him. Sweet. Reset. Defend. See a fucking game out. Be a professional about it and see the fucking game out. You know what I mean? And then I think there's just a lack of that with United. A big lack of that.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Listen, I'm not going to see you for the brew because you're off on your adventures, so I'll see you next week. But always a pleasure. Make sure you go and check out Steve on his channel. There's all sorts going on there, so you don't want to miss out there. Make sure as well you are subscribing to Stretford Paddock. That's been Stephen Howson. I've been Jay Motti. This has been a review of Manchester United winning at Wolves. Thanks to that boy, Mainoo. Thanks for watching.